What's going on, everybody? How are we doing? We were just having an amazing conversation backstage, and I literally almost came on the air dying in laughter. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Info Arcade. Again, with me, Info Arcade, your host. We've got AJ King Kaw up there as well, and Stathead, and all of his wonderful numbers inside of his beautiful brain. Guys, how are we doing tonight?
Let me tell you. I mean, I'm on top of the world.
Dude.
I'm on top of the world, and we can get into it later. But let me just say, one of us beat the other two of the show in fantasy, and it's been a great week.
Oh God, it's already starting.
I'm on top, baby.
We will be discussing fantasy sports at the end, and you can have your entire heyday, do whatever you want for those few minutes. But guys, we got a jam-packed show for you. It is election day, so thank you guys for tuning in on this busy day. Make sure you go vote if you haven't already. Do your part as a citizen. Do your duty to go and vote. Make your voice be heard. But today we've got a lot to let our voice be heard about in and around the beautiful sports and entertainment world that we all know and love. So let's get this thing kicked off because I don't want to waste any time. Starting off with first up, here we go.
Let's go.
All right, let's go into these first topics. So I'm going to give a little light to what we've been talking about backstage. AJ is working on a project where he has a horse character that is also a god of rock and roll. And we've been trying to come up with some really cool names for it. And that is a segue to what we're about to talk about, which is another horse that is struggling. And that's the Colts. So nice, like that segue.
Woo! I didn't know where you were going.
Sorry.
You got us there.
Got him. Guys, tonight.
Struggle to get across that finish line.
I barely made it. We were almost out of runway on those two extension cords, but we were able to plug it all together, baby. Let's go. All right. Guys, let's talk some sports. We got some news later in the week. Last week, Colts fire head coach. They replace Irsay with a former player as an interim, Jeff Saturday, who has no college or NFL coaching experience. He does currently coach in high school. This was kind of surprising. The Colts are in a dire situation. Matt Ryan is out with an injury. They turn to rookie Sam Ehlinger. He's underperforming, but also at the same time, the Colts are blaming that this problem goes back. They're saying it goes back long before the quarterback role because they couldn't win with Matt Ryan. They can't win with Sam, so it's got to be coaching, right? They get rid of Irsay. They're going with Jeff Saturday as an interim, and I'm like very confused on this whole thing. What is happening in Indianapolis? I would love to know your take, fellas. Let's dive into it. I'm going to start off with Stathead tonight. Stathead, what you got, man? What are you thinking?
Well, whoever picks up Frank Reich after this coaching gig, they're getting a good coach. I think genuinely he does really well on the offensive side. I think you could pair him with some young quarterback. Maybe Tennessee gets him. Maybe Atlanta gets him. Someone that can really help along the young QB. It's chaos. It's chaos. And I, for one, love chaos. This season's great. I have no idea what's going to happen every week. And that's so much fun. And to put Jeff Saturday, who has not even college experience, just high school, and here you go. Like, wow.
Yeah, Irsay fires Frank Reich Monday morning following, just everything that's going on. Saturday played for the Colts for 13 seasons. He was a 5-time Pro Bowler. And he's just saying, we know he can play, so obviously he can coach, right? Like that's what's going on over at Indy.
30-year-old play caller, by the way, they just announced. Really, super young guy that was their offensive assistant.
Yeah, they said that they just said tonight that they're actually going to have an assistant QB Parks Frazier call the offense for them, and I'm just like, I really think they're grasping at straws here. I think they're just trying to do something deliberate. AJ, you look like you've got something to say here. Like,
I mean, I talk
look like
about
you're biting your
falling
tongue.
upwards. Like this man literally fell into a position he's not qualified for, and now they're like, you know what? We'll figure it out on the fly. It's not like this is a multi-million-dollar football team, football franchise, but hey, I feel him. I've fallen upwards into positions I had no business working in. So, good luck. Hopefully, you can fake it and make it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they need to figure out something quick because, having to grasp at straws for somebody to be your play caller is not something that you want to hear for a professional football team. That's okay. Maybe Division 3 football, if that's a thing. Junko football, maybe that's a thing.
You mean JUCO?
JUCO, there it is. Yeah, I call it Junko, the big. Hey man, I'm from the punk side of things. We have big pants named Junkos that nobody had business wearing back in the 90s.
You played in the Big Pants League?
I played in the Big Pants League, all right?
The Big Pants League. Oh man, fun times. I look at this
whole situation. You can get away with that in that league, all right?
Yeah,
that's where you can get away with it.
I look at this whole situation, and I don't think I know who's wearing the big pants in Indy. I don't think anyone really knows what's happening. I feel like they're just stuck, and they're trying not to point the finger at all the decision making that's been happening at the general manager level. And so instead of taking it on themselves, that they're the ones calling the draft picks, they're the ones hiring the staff, they're the ones trading for all these players. But then now they're like, oh, we're still losing. Coach has got to go. They get rid of him. They just scramble with what they have because they're not willing to, I don't know, man. I just, Indy is a mess and it is on fire. The horse is on fire. That's all we know. Much like the Broncos, who also aren't doing that well. Just so, I don't know. All I know is this: we're gonna probably see some crazy backlash if we don't see some wins on Sunday. We don't even see an attempt for this offense to come out firing Sunday. There's going to be problems in Indy. That's all we know. Speaking of no experience,
yes.
This feels okay. Have you guys ever gone and worked for someone or work for a place, and then they go, "Hey, can you do this?" And you go, "Yes, I totally can do that." Yes, I can be a barista. I know everything there is. I drink a coffee every morning. How hard can it be? That's what this feels like. But also, speaking about some weird and inexperienced stuff, did you guys know that Taiwan has a basketball league?
I do now.
I assumed.
We found out as soon as we heard the news that Dwight Howard is continuing his basketball career in Taiwan with a professional league over there. This comes from ESPN. It says 8-time All-Star big man announced Monday night that he is signed to play with the Taiwan Leopards, a professional team in Taiwan. He says he's excited. Can't wait to touch down in Taiwan to start playing. As a part of a social media post by the team, he's coming with open arms, big hugs, and big smiles. He's turning 37 next month. He was a free agent after spending last season with the Lakers, averaging 6 points, 6 rebounds, and 16 minutes per game. His first overall draft pick in 2004. And he's been in the league for 18 seasons. Finds himself as a free agent, and now he's headed overseas to play ball in a league that no one's ever heard of. I've got some thoughts on this, but I'm going to start with AJ. It looks like you have something to say. I would love to hear this.
You know I do, because it's basketball. It's my sport. This is the sport I played my entire life. I was starting center on my junior varsity and varsity team at 6 foot. Yes, we were a small school. So let me tell you, a good center is needed anywhere. Now,
True.
I understand that Taiwan is probably a place that's very desperate for good centers, but this is not good for his career. And Dwight, I have some thoughts on what you should do with your career. And it's not go to Taiwan. It's, hey, there's this thing called hoops coming up. You know about it because you saw like FCF last season. Owner player, I think that makes a lot of sense, especially if he can call in buddies that he played against that are not playing, i.e. Joe Johnson. Those two on a team would be unstoppable. It'd be awesome to watch. It'd be great for everybody, not only them as owners and players, but Dwight Howard could win a ring in something finally. It's something you want to see. I think he did win a ring actually, but like, come on, he wasn't a reason why they won it.
For sure. I 100% agree with his sentiment. Like, why
Wait, I gotta know now.
Okay. He's got to know. The real question is, like, why would you go overseas? I mean, at the very least, if not, for all of us, fan-controlled hoops would be 100% where we'd love to see Dwight Howard play or own a team. I think that would be incredible. But if not that, at the very least, I mean, what about Big Three? Big Three is a growing league as well. A lot of older guys, competitive athletes are still trying to show that they've got game. Like, Dwight Howard would mix up with those guys super well. So why is he going overseas? I don't know, man. Like, he's going to be playing with a lot of young talent who aren't good enough for G League or aren't, good enough for the NBA. And he's stepping down to their level. And he will probably be really successful. I mean, he's Dwight Howard. He's super talented. But at the same time, like, you're competing against guys that are way less skilled than you are, way less
100%.
experience. I just don't know, man. I think that's a dumb move. Come to hoops. Stathead.
I gotta say this, though. I was right. He did play and won a ring on the Lakers 2020 team, which was the Mickey Mouse season. So...
Yeah, he got that Mickey Mouse title in the bag. Do you think they actually put like Mickey ears like somewhere hidden on?
They better.
I wish a hidden Mickey on the
hidden
ring.
Mickey on the champion ring.
That'd be great. Someone's got it. I get it. Listen, sometimes you just want to play the game on rookie mode. All right, it's okay. Listen, sometimes you just like, what if I just dropped 40? Who like what's so bad with when I saw this in the rundown, I was like, why do we care that Dwight Howard's like traveling to Taiwan? And I was like, oh wait, sure, if it makes him happy, good for him. Does he need to? I don't think so. Like you said, he's playing down, so maybe it's just for fun. Maybe I don't fully understand the move.
As a fan of fan-controlled hoops and fan-controlled sports entertainment, as a follower of this league, walking around, engaging with Dwight Howard last season during football, he's been in Pullman Yards. He's talked to executives. He knows what's coming. And then he pulls this bonehead move to go play in Taiwan. That's what it is. It's a bonehead move, in my opinion. I think it's stupid. Listen. And I mean... We'll talk a lot more about fan controlled hoops. We got some fun stuff to talk about later. But I look at this whole situation and I'm just like, bro, you have opportunity. Why are you, like Indianapolis, grasping at straws in your circumstances when you have plenty of better options out there? Plenty of better options. For me, it made the breaking news report for tonight or first up because it does pertain to hoops. And I think he would be an excellent candidate for hoops. We saw what Terrell Owens did in fan-controlled football last season. Dwight Howard could totally be that for fan-controlled hoops. I have no doubt about it in my mind. People were just oohing and awing at his every move whenever he came to Pullman last year just to visit. Just jaw-dropped at him being there in the arena. I think he would get so much love from the fans. So maybe he'll watch this and he'll be like, yeah, I'm not going to Taiwan. I'll go to hoops. That would be awesome. But right now, we can only cross our fingers and try to get our people to call his people. That's it at this point. Anyway, I'm done talking about this craziness, man. It's a mess. Let's kick it over into some real sports talk, shall we? Let's. with sports. Guys, we talked a little bit about the World Series last week. We talked about Stathead's love for Philadelphia, and now we get to bring it back around. The Stros win the World Series. And to top it all off, we talked about Philly as a sports town and just how successful they are. And we talked about last week how the Phillies win the World Series and Philadelphia Union are in the MLS Cup. And I'm like, man, it'd be crazy if they won both, right? But they had to go pull a Philly and lose both of them
on the same day.
On the same
day.
In blowout fashion. Phillies get destroyed by the Astros. It's no secret. The Philadelphia Union, they had the lead. They went into extra time. Guys, I know a lot of you aren't soccer fans, but let me explain what happened. It was a 90-minute back-and-forth battle. They tie it up with minutes left on the clock to go 2-2. They go into extra time. In soccer, you do 2 15-minute halves of extra time. You play it to its full extension. So they play another 30 minutes. They both score a goal. They actually went up first, so they were up 3-2. Then they concede a goal to LAFC, so it's 3-3. Then they go to penalty kicks. And they just decided, I think, somewhere between the ending of extra time and going to penalty kicks that they just were done playing that day because they didn't kick a dang, they couldn't get anything done. It was a mess. And the Phillies acted like they didn't even go to Houston. Where were they? I don't know. But it's time for not us to answer to what's happening in Philadelphia. It's time for this man up here, Stathead, to talk about what's going on with Philadelphia now after the Phillies and the Union get decimated in the finals.
Y'all didn't believe hard enough, apparently. I don't know. Yikes. Big yikes. This is the first time I actually cared about a soccer game. Because I didn't want to come back here like this. And I was watching the penalty kicks go back and forth, and I was like, oh, come on. And my dad hit me up. He's like, hey, they just scored another penalty kick. I was like, yeah. And then he's like, no, it wasn't Philly. I was like, oh. And then all those home runs, and listen, I don't know if Philly wants me rooting for them anymore. I'm a Boston guy, and maybe me giving my support towards Philly upset the universe. Maybe, who knows? I'm sorry, Philly. I'll be sure to root against you. It worked when y'all beat the Patriots, so hey.
It's true. AJ, what you got?
I'm just happy. We didn't lose an important city in the U.S. this weekend.
There were no riots.
There were no riots unnecessarily. Seeing Gareth Bale be like the superhero in the MLS is bittersweet. I think he still has it in him to be in the Champions League. So seeing him in MLS is it's bittersweet. It's great to see it because that shows that MLS is going up in class and level. But at the same time, I still feel like the man can play, and clearly he showed that this weekend. Yeah. As far as the Phillies, man, I'm a Braves fan. I'm happy. We're not in it. Let's take out the guys that are our rivals. Why not?
That's right. Yeah, I think the Stros just went on to show, again, they are a talented organization full of talented players. I think a lot of people are going to hang their past over their head, but I think that gives them a chip on their shoulder and makes them dangerous. So I really don't think the Stros are going anywhere. I think they're going to be a contender for next year, pending postseason and seeing kind of what happens during this offseason time, if they make any moves or if they lose any contracts or whatever that looks like. We don't know yet. It's still early to tell, but as of now, I think the Stros are going to be back, and they're going to be back with a vengeance. Again, just trying to show people that they deserve to be there. They deserve to be in that role. And also to talk about Gareth Bale. Incredible performance. I didn't know if he was going to make it in the game. I'm glad that they went to extra time because they did. He actually got some play time, showed that he is perfectly capable of playing in this league, even in his age. And now it's drawn some attention. The rumor mill has it that Mr. Lionel Messi is joining Inter Miami this offseason and be coming to play there. That would be just mind blowing. Like, I can tell you this is that whenever if that happens, whenever Miami comes to St. Louis or goes to Kansas City, I will drive to either to go watch that game because I would love to see a legend play in person like that. Be absolutely incredible. But yeah, so not so sunny in Philadelphia after all. That's unfortunate, but there could be hope because now we're talking Super Bowl and the Eagles are still 8-0 on top of the NFC East. They are still showing that Philadelphia might have a shot at winning a championship. So I want to go around, guys. I want to say, who do you got at least attending the Super Bowl? You don't have to give me like a long ball call, but who do you think is going to make it to the Super Bowl? Give me a couple names from the NFC or AFC. I'd love to know. If you need time to think, go for it. But this is who I got. I got Eagles or Vikes from the NFC. Vikings are, basically they had one loss week 1. Then they've won 6 straight. And now they're still rolling. Like, apparently Kirk Cousins can still somewhat play QB enough to where they can. Their defense has been incredible. Like, they're just, the Vikings are showing like a team or side of their team I've never seen before or I haven't seen in a long time. Eagles, like, same thing. Like, the top of the NFC East, undefeated, the only undefeated team left in the NFL. In the AFC, I was going to say the Bills all the way, but we just saw an injury to Josh Allen. He possibly had an injury to his UCL on Sunday. He's being evaluated for that. I don't know if the Bills are going to make it to the finish line without their star quarterback. And so I think it's going to be Ravens or Chiefs is my picks for AFC. Think they're dangerous, both teams. What do you guys got? Whoever wants to go first, I'm fine with it. But
I crave chaos. I crave it. I want this. If this season's gonna keep the energy it's given us so far, we're gonna get wild. First, like, yeah, Eagles, Vikings, like, that makes sense. Chiefs, Ravens, that makes sense. I want the Seahawks with Geno Smith. I want them to go all the way. I don't like Geno Smith, as we all know, terrible Jets quarterback, but for some reason decided that this year in his 30s, he's just going to play out of his mind. So I want him to carry that energy and to just wrap this narrative up in a nice little bow. The Jets make it. And Geno Smith beats the Jets in the Super Bowl and everybody laughs at the Jets. Everyone laughs at Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Carroll gets his second ring.
The race for the AFC East is really interesting. You have the Bills, who now have a quarterback who's injured, so no telling if they're going to maintain the top spot. You've got the Jets, who are not being the Jets like they normally are. They're being some other like incredible team that's showing that they can contend this year. Don't forget Tua. Like, he was out with that concussion protocol for a few weeks. He had his injury, but they've still won 3 in a row. They're 6-3 right now. They're tied for second with the Jets. So we could see some crazy shakeup in AFC.
Now, hold on a minute. Wait a minute. You're forgetting a team.
Oh yeah, the Patriots, 5-2.
We won 4 out of our last 5. What do you mean?
Yeah, they've won 2 in a row, 4 of their last 5. So it's a tight race in the AFC East. No, not gonna lie, like, it's anyone's game. I still think it's not gonna matter. I don't think any team from the AFC East, unless it was the Bills, is gonna make it to the Super Bowl, but we'll see. AJ, what you got?
I mean, this is the year that, like, I feel like everyone's like, the easy money would be like Bills, Kansas City. Like, that's kind of what I'm expecting. If I were to put money on it, that's what I would say. What I'd like to see, I don't know. Like, I don't want to see the Jets. I'd love to see the Falcons make it, but like, that's That's super up in the air. Falcons Seahawks. So let's see that. Let's see that Super Bowl real quick. The Battle of the Birds.
Battle of the Birds. I love it.
That's what I want to see, but if I'm betting, I'm gonna go Kansas City Bills.
You think Kansas City Bills are gonna go to the Super Bowl? One of those two teams going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That's good,
I mean,
good picks.
That's
I
fair.
mean, they've been contenders the past couple years, man. And to me, like it was Chiefs or Bills all day. We'll see what Allen's injury looks like. Like that's what it comes down to me for the Bills. Like that's the big question mark, which is also the big question mark for my fantasy team, and we'll get to that here in a little bit because we talked about this. We'll talk more about it in a bit, but I mean, this season has been crazy. It's been absolutely crazy. And if you think the NFL has been crazy, go turn on college football on a Saturday and tell me that's not crazy too. Like this season has not been predictable across sports in general. It just hasn't. We've seen another crazy batch of games, crazy upsets. Alabama loses to LSU last week in overtime. Can't say that wasn't crazy. We saw the Vols. We saw them fall and get beat the other day by Georgia. And I don't know, man. Like, there's some crazy stuff happening. So here's my thoughts. I've got the top 10 games, are all the top 10 teams and who they're playing this week. I just want to go through them, and I want you guys to tell me: do we see an upset happening? Do we see a change up to any of these numbers, or do you think this status quo just keeps rolling on into week 10? First game we have the Vols taking on Missouri. So the Tennessee taking on Missouri. What are you guys seeing out of that? You guys think that is just a shoe-in Tennessee advances on?
I think Tennessee's going to rebound from that loss. I think they're going to they need kind of a game to get that aggression out.
AJ, Tennessee, Missouri. You think Tennessee goes?
I see Tennessee going.
Yeah,
I can see it.
I agree. I think it's obvious. Like Tennessee is going to literally just destroy the Tigers. Next one, Ohio State is playing Indiana. I think this is also easy. Like Buckeyes all the way. Buckeyes are going to destroy Indiana. I think we all agree. Yes. Georgia is playing Mississippi State, another blowout game. So these top 3 games are not as interesting. But wouldn't it be something?
No,
it's not going to happen. Georgia's a force to be reckoned with. Now here's an interesting one. Clemson is playing Louisville this weekend. When I'm looking at this game between Clemson and Louisville, you've got an 8-1 team versus a 6-3 team. They're playing at Clemson. It's a home game. I feel like Clemson should walk away with this one in the bag. What are your thoughts? You guys agreeing with me here?
Here you go, meow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. This is where it starts to get interesting. We've got Alabama against number 11 Ole Miss. Alabama just coming off a stunning defeat to LSU. And now they're going up against another ranked team. They have to prove that they're top 10 worthy at this point. Ole Miss is trying to show that they deserve to be in that conversation as well. So this is going to be a really tight matchup. I want to know, what are we seeing between Alabama and Ole Miss? What's your call, boys?
Bama all the day.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
Yeah.
I mean, Ole Miss has a better record right now in both the SEC and overall.
But does Ole Miss have Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Bryce Young?
I mean, good point. Does Alabama have Heisman Trophy winning Bryce Young? I mean, has he even been relevant to the conversation? Like,
yes,
he has. He's performed, but then they lose. Does it matter if you lose? If you can't pull out a dumb,
that
might be harsh.
That's coming from a real place. What did he do to you?
It's like
what did Bama do to you?
They hurt him, like they've hurt every other non-Bama fan.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess this is another interesting matchup. This wasn't on my list, but I got confused there for a second. Did you guys know that Tua's little brother is playing at Maryland?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, he's taking on Penn State this week. So that'll be interesting to see if we have an upset there. Penn State is ranked number 14. Outside of my top 10 indeed, but still interesting. Michigan takes on Nebraska. Wolverines all day. They're going to stay in that spot.
Yep.
TCU taking on Texas. TCU ranked number 7, going in undefeated still. Texas having 2 losses, ranked number 24. Texas is still trying to show that they are the big dogs in that state. I want TCU to win. We all talked about this last week. We said that we would love to see TCU make that top 4 to go to the college football playoff. But this is one of those high-pressure games that it's an interstate game. There's no telling what's going to happen with this.
Mm-hmm.
I want TCU to win. I'm pulling for TCU. I think TCU is going to pull it off. But, man, it makes me nervous, dude. I'm literally sick to my stomach as a Frog fan going into this game. It's played in Austin.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
Oh, that's brutal, man. The line has Texas taking the under of 7. I don't know.
That's bold. I feel like if any upset's going to happen, and I do view this as an upset, I think Texas will probably win this weekend. But I want TCU to win.
Yeah,
but I see Texas winning. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. I
feel it in my bones.
That way too. I just don't want it to be true. And sorry, Mike, to correct it, Texas has 3 losses.
There you
go. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
I got TCU all day. Go for
Stat has confidence.
I believe. There's no doubt. You got this. You just gotta believe.
Go Frogs, baby.
Go Frogs.
Dude,
Horn Frogs.
Their quarterback has shown that he is just absolutely incredible. I have been just amazed at Hudgens' performance. He's been great. Oregon versus Washington. USC versus Colorado.
USC.
All right. And then finally an interesting one, LSU versus Arkansas. Arkansas is one of those wild cards you never know what's going to happen. They can have a really good game. They've got our Coach Ray over there at Arkansas. I can't speak ill of them pigs, man. I really can't, dude. Those Hogs, dude, they know how to play. But it's LSU coming off a win against Bama. And I love Coach Ray.
Yeah.
LSU, they've got a lot of momentum right now going into this game. So I'm taking LSU. I'm sorry, Coach Ray. Please forgive me.
Definitely one of those upsets I could see happening, but I got LSU winning.
Yeah.
I did have LSU, but now I kind of want to go with the more chaos pick and pick Arkansas because I want Coach Ray to win.
Chaos.
We all want Coach Ray to win. We want that. But man, how about that? All of this talks of upsets and just all the crazy chaos that's been happening within sports. It's got me all fired up. There's a lot of other stuff happening. We'll get more into it, and we've got a really fun boss battle at the very end of the night that is a sports topic we're going to cover. But right now, it's time to go into gaming and entertainment. So let's kick it off. Right now, we've got some brand new releases tomorrow. We've got God of War Ragnarok releasing tomorrow. I know AJ has got a PlayStation, so he might be excited. He might be picking that one up. Next week, we've got Warzone releasing, and Sonic Frontiers is out as well. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on it, but I mean, open world Sonic game. So really just want to say, like, guys, what do we feel about these releases? What games are you playing right now and looking forward to playing? Let's dive into it. AJ, are you playing God of War tomorrow? Are you picking it up?
I'm gonna be real. Probably not. I've played a lot of God of War games. I got the last one for PlayStation 5 and straight up couldn't get past the first boss. Even with tutorials on easy mode, just too hard, too difficult. It was too much for me. And this is a guy who plays a lot of video games. I'm literally playing Cyberpunk on ultra hard mode for my second time just because I'm like, I want to get the secret ending.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've been playing. I'm still on that Cyberpunk kick for some reason. I just love it.
Did you beat Gotham Knights finally? Did you beat it?
No, I haven't. I haven't even
But
gotten
too
into
busy
it.
with Cyberpunk, huh?
Too busy with Cyberpunk. It's just got all my attention right now.
I mean, it's a great game,
Oh,
especially now.
and the new World of Warcraft expansion comes out in a couple days. So I'm
Oh,
excited to play
really?
that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's been a minute since I've
Yeah.
heard anybody talk about WoW, but I mean, it's still popular, still going.
So the new expansion gives everybody the ability to get like dragons, which you've had before, but these dragons are like custom one of ones to your player. So they're like super customizable and making them like as much as like unique as your character is now. So there's like barding, scales, colors, horns, all this stuff that's really cool, and you can fly differently. So I'm kind of excited to see the new mechanics.
Yeah, that's super dope. Stathead, what about you, my man? You picking up any of these new releases, or what's on your radar for gaming?
Nothing a lot. I mean, I want to know if Sonic Frontiers is bad, because if it is, I'm probably going to play it anyway, because we've just had bad Sonic games for as long as I can remember, and that's just become part of it. When you pick up a Sonic game, you're not playing it because it's good. You're playing it because Sonic is arguably one of the coolest characters ever made. He's going to show up, he's going to say something real like snappy and like one-liney, and you're going to struggle with the controls a bit, and for some reason you're going to phase through the floor, but the music's going to be great and the animation's going to be great, and that's all I care about.
And then when you get tired of it, you go take care of your child in their garden and you have a great time. And
you're
everything's
gosh
fantastic.
dang right you do. You watch that little squirt just run as slowly as possible as you mash A, because that does something. I don't think it does. I don't know. What have I been playing? I've been playing Madden 23 because,
is it as buggy as they're saying it is? Like,
I recorded a video of, how they do like cutscenes in like The Office and stuff. Well, I was doing Face of the Franchise mode, and then I go to play the game after a cutscene, and the entire office building and the background city is just on the field. And like, I'm playing as a quarterback, so now there's a building blocking my view, and
this did not happen. No way this happened.
It did. I have an actual video.
You need to tweet that. I want to watch that.
It's bad, but I listen. I don't know why. I'm one of those people that I also judge. I just want to play with the new Madden because it's got the rosters. Do I hope that it's good? Yes. Am I still going to keep getting it? Probably. It's a problem. I have a problem. I need help.
Yeah, I gotcha. I get it. For me, I've been playing nothing but Call of Duty and Fortnite lately. Just COD all day. COD multiplayer. I've got a friend who streams Fortnite. I've been playing along with him. He actually is an FPS streamer, but he hasn't had a whole lot to play, so he just jumped into Fortnite because it's free, and so I've been kind of helping him play that. I'm looking forward to Warzone releasing next week. I'm also interested, and this is just the dorky side of me, Pokemon has a new game next week. I'm so hyped for some Pokemon. Let's be honest. It's still there in my heart. And it helps now that I have a 6-year-old because he loves Pokemon. So it's less weird that I like Pokemon because my 6-year-old also enjoys Pokemon. We're finally at that age where I can enjoy the thing because he enjoys it. And it's less weird for me, a grown man in my 30s. So it's great. But that's just me. Anyway, so that's next week. Those are some fun releases we've got coming out. Let's tune away from gaming and let's talk about. No. I want to talk about this one topic real quick first. So, have you guys played Overwatch yet? I've played a little bit of the new Overwatch. Have you played Overwatch 2?
Yep,
No.
I have.
It's pretty solid. It feels exactly like Overwatch 1, which is exactly the point. But they just announced a new character, a new tank character that's coming to Overwatch 2. And the latest is that it's going to be locked behind the Battle Pass system. You have to purchase a Battle Pass and you have to get to level 55 in order to unlock this character to play with it.
Bruh.
So, it's basically a shape-shifting warlord that can transform between a defensive and offensive mode. But again, you have to get to level 55 on their paid battle pass to be able to unlock it. So my question is, do we think that's cheap? Do we think that is fair of Blizzard to be like, hey, like the only way you can unlock an entire character with an entire different moveset is by paying for it? Or is that sketch in this type of competitive? Like, I don't know. Like, I want to know your thoughts about this. I've got some theories on it or some thoughts on it, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. Stathead, as a guy who's not into Overwatch, let me ask you this: do you play Smash Brothers at all? Did you ever play Smash Brothers?
Let me tell you something, Sonny Jim. All right, let me. You come here for a second. Did you just say I'm not into Overwatch? How dare you? All right, I
That's
will
not what I
have
said.
you
I said
know.
you said you're not playing Overwatch 2, is what you said.
Yeah, because I loved Overwatch, and I'm not gonna support Overwatch again. But this time, you have to pay for all the characters.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't like the fact that I bought the game and now the game just cannot be played because they're like, buy the newer game. What was wrong with the older game?
It's a free upgrade.
It's not. You had to buy it again.
I got mine for free.
Yeah, Overwatch 2 is free.
What do you mean?
Overwatch 2
It's
is
free.
free.
Oh,
You just go download it.
And
I'm
it
still
transfers
probably
all the
not gonna-
skins too from Overwatch 1.
Okay,
True.
maybe I'll download it. Dang.
Later, we're gonna find out that Stathead's been like just like grinding
Angry.
his Overwatch level because he's like, I'm so behind. I gotta get back into
Yeah.
it.
You're gonna catch me tomorrow with my offensive Torbjorn strats again.
There you go.
I mean, listen, I still doesn't mean I'm gonna like the behind a paywall for characters, skins, and that stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. But like characters, why?
Yeah.
Why?
AJ, what do you think, man?
I'm not a fan. I think it's like, hey, if you want to put it behind a paywall, that's one thing. But putting it behind a paywall and then being like, and 50 levels worth of stuff, you either have to spend like close to $100 just to get like a couple levels closer to getting it, and then grinding hours upon hours. This new battle like season system is not easy. I've played like I think like maybe like 6 or 7 hours. I think I'm like level 3. Like that's not a lot. I remember Apex, like you could get to level 3 in 2 games if you play well enough. Like this, I was top character, most damage, most deaths. Like not most deaths for me, but most kills, I guess. Less deaths, and like my KD ratio is great. I'm at level 3. So I'm not a huge fan. I think this is another situation where like I'm excited for NFT video games to come out. There's a couple coming out that my ape's going to be a part of that I'm really excited for. And I just think that's cool as balls because like people can use my skin in my ape. And if they want to, they can go ahead. But I get a little kickback. Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so here's where I'm at. Okay. Part of me is like, this is wrong on so many levels because it, like you said, Stathead, it is an actual character. It's not a cosmetic. In a way, it could be totally pay to win. These are the same things that people were criticizing EA for a couple years back with unlocking Darth Vader in Battlefront 2. Everyone was like, oh, you got to pay and all this money to unlock him, or you have to grind for hours and hours and hours just to unlock this playable hero. And I'm like, this is the same thing they're doing, and no one's batting an eye. Or they're just like, oh, it's part of a battle pass system, so it's fair. And I'm just like, what? Like, it's the same thing. But even though like Overwatch is super competitive, look at a game like Super Smash Brothers. They have DLC characters. So instead of grinding on a battle pass, you do have to pay for said DLC characters to be able to play with them.
But that's
different. Everyone was fine with that. Yeah, is it though? Because
it actually is because like
okay, I want to hear why.
The difference is anybody can pay for it and get it. Yeah, it's like play to win, but like usually 9 times out of 10 with characters and like made in these games, they try to make it somewhat so that each character has a counterpart. So
Yeah, it's
you're
super
not
balanced, is what
really
you're saying.
it's balanced. It's
Yeah.
not like you're gonna be losing at everything. So that's one thing. But to make them go, all right, you're gonna have to grind your butt off and pay, I think is too much. Like I think you either make it so you can get it for free, like all these like mobile games, like yeah, some of them are pay to win. But like Marvel Snap, good example. Like you don't have to buy the battle pass. You can unlock it. It takes forever. Sure. But like you put the time into it, you can get to the same spot a dude who spent like $10 the first day is. Like the skill doesn't outweigh, what you get from, buying. And I
Yeah.
think it's the same situation. But by making them have to pay extra and having them grind multiple hours just to get a character, I think that's too much. It's one or the other. Don't make it both.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make it both, make it so that it's like free to grind then pay. Don't make it pay and then grind. That's kind of not cool.
All right, before we get into fantasy sports and we have to listen to Stathead talk about the results of this past weekend, I want to know this. What are you guys watching streaming media wise? I want to know what shows are good out there to watch. I have picked up a couple new shows. I'm still struggling trying to find something to watch since Rings of Power and House of Dragon are done, but I want to know, what are you guys watching these days? Has anything changed since we talked about it about a month ago?
Listen, I'm gonna just drive home the two shows that I'm messing with hard right now, and I'll shout out a third that I don't really mess with, but like if you like good stuff, watch it. Battle Bots. I'm catching up. If you're not into Battle Bots, get into Battle Bots. It's just two giant robots that like really smart engineers build to just destroy each other. It's fantastic. Um, if you're into like animation, check out Dead End Paranormal Park. I think it's great. I think it's a great kids show, but like for like more teens, but like it's so enjoyable and genuinely funny and like weird and creepy because it's like demons and stuff, and it's fantastic. And then I'm gonna shout out the what is it? The Pantry of no wait, the Cabinet of Curiosities. George I forget who was it. I forget the director. Del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. It's a bunch. It's kind of Black Mirror-y, but of just like the most weird stuff you could think of.
Yeah. Okay. You sold me on BattleBots. I probably should go back and watch BattleBots.
Watch BattleBots. Oh my god, it's the most hyped thing.
Speaking of nostalgic BattleBots, you know what I've been watching?
What?
Blockbuster, a new Netflix sitcom about the nostalgia of Blockbuster. They actually are basically spoofing the last remaining Blockbuster that's in Oregon. In this case, this one is in Michigan, but it's got an incredible cast, and it's written by the writers from The Office, Superstore, Parks and Rec. All those guys are back on the saddle from NBC Universal writing for the show for Netflix, and it's super funny. 10-episode first season. I'm 5 episodes in. Loving it. Andor's incredible. Episode 10 drops tomorrow. It's about to go down if you're watching it. If you're all caught up, it's super good. It's been a slow build up to this, and so I'm really excited to watch that. And they've still got 2 more episodes after that. So that's what I've been on to these days. So go watch Blockbuster if you want some good laughs. AJ.
I've been watching a couple things. Me and my fiance started watching and finished one show called Resort. It's on Peacock. Shout out to our FCF hosts of Peacock.
Yeah.
It's good. It's kind of weird. It's a little trippy. I wasn't a fan of the end. I feel like they're trying to be like the Lost of this generation. But it was decent. It was a good ride. It's fun till the end, and then the end you're like, really? And then I've also the new season of My Hero Academia is out, so like those come out every Saturday. So I've been watching those.
Do you
Go
watch the
beyond.
Japanese or English dub?
English, because I
Yes, me too. I don't want to
lazy.
read my show. I want
Yeah, I
to.
don't want
I want
to.
to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm watching English too. I didn't watch the newest drop. That's episode 4. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
But I will. I will do it.
But yeah,
So
that's pretty much what I've been doing. Yeah.
cool. Stathead, you got one more? Were you about to say something?
You're just over here debating dub versus sub, and I'm like, I like both because even if it's in English, I'm still putting subtitles on.
I mean, fair point. Fair point.
Yeah, but you can ignore those subtitles. You only go if you're like, what did he say? Rewind it.
Yeah. So I could keep talking about subtitles and my opinions thereof, but I'm only delaying the inevitable, which is we got to talk about fantasy sports.
Oh,
gotta
we
keep the
gotta.
show going.
We
I don't
gotta.
want to.
Oh.
This week I went 1-for-1. I won in the paid league, and I lost to that man right there. In what was a blowout, in my opinion. I don't know what's happening in my team. 3 losses in a row, guys. I went from undefeated, and then after undefeated, it's just like the bye week hit me, and then I've just been dead ever since. So, AJ, where are you at, man? How did your teams fare?
I feel like I'm very middle of the pack, like I usually always am. Because Stathead bucked me out of the playoff spot in our paid league, which pissed me off.
No, he did not.
But he did.
Out of the playoff spot? Oh my god!
But we still got 5 weeks left, and
We do.
everyone is like 4-5, 5-4. So I feel like there's like 5 or 6 dudes that are just very middle of the pack in that league. So it's anybody's game. I feel like I got this week wrapped up. So if Stathead loses this week, I'm back to number 1. Well, number 6. And then in our like free league, like I don't know, I just won this week, but my fiance is like helping. What was it? Was it Harry Dog? It wasn't Harry Dog. I think it was I don't know.
Okay.
Somebody. I kicked someone's ass. Joe Buck yourself. So Harry Dog. It was Harry Dog.
Harry Dog. Yep.
So
rip Harry Dog. He was in the chat earlier. Sorry, man. I guess that's why he had to skedaddle. He didn't want to hear about this either.
Yeah.
Speaking of kicking butts,
yeah.
let me just read you something. So against AJ, beat him by 30 points. Against Info, beat him by 40 points.
Absolutely nuts, though. He got 50 points. He should not have gotten 50 points.
Joe Mixon with 5, count 'em, 5 touchdowns, like, and the Patriots defense getting 9 sacks and a touchdown. That's why you always bet on blue, baby. The Patriots deliver. Oh, they thought it couldn't be done, but chaos wins again.
Man.
Literally. Like, you got so lucky.
Let me tell you, again, absolutely to rub more salt into the wound. On that team that beat Info, I had PJ Walker, who got -3 points. A good chunk of my guys got what was this? 4 below 10 and 1 below 0, and I still beat you. I handicapped myself.
I mean, to be fair, my injuries were not helping me this week, but I know that's part of the dang game. If I'm looking back at the scores we had this week, Josh Allen went 18 for 34. So he had a rough week, threw 2 interceptions, has a possible UCL tear. Is what it is. But he still put 25 points up. It's just a little bit lower than his norm. Another guy who didn't show up that needed to show up, Devontae Smith for the Eagles, was not involved as he should have been. Romeo Doubs for the Packers got put out with an injury, and that did not help me at all. And then, I mean, I'm just injury riddled right now. It's just bad. I was pretty impressed with everybody else's performance. Other than that, I think everyone else did okay. But man, can I just tell you that whenever Odell Beckham signs with a team, I'm gonna dominate all of you because he's just sitting on my bench because I know it's gonna happen.
I'm waiting for the day you drop him because I'm
and
gonna
then he
pick
gets
him
picked
up,
up,
and then he's gonna get picked up.
I've already dropped him one time, and then he got picked, and then he did get picked up in a. I don't know if it was this league or our paid league, but yeah, like it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. The question is where. But that topic is for another time. We could maybe save that table that topic for next week. Where do we think OBJ is gonna go and play when he comes back? Because there's some people saying he might end up in Dallas. Some people are saying Buffalo. Some people are saying Kansas City. I don't know. We'll talk about that next week. But for now, let's go ahead and go on to the boss battle for the day. All right. Guess we're having a weird technical thing. So I don't know.
Choose your character.
It is time for boss battle. And sorry, I just kicked your virtual.
Yeah,
app.
what was that about? Why is the
know.
intro you kicking 8 of me?
There are 8
What?
sets. I don't know. So like when I'll tell you backstage kind of like how that came to be, but it's not like a direct attack at all. Like
No,
my
it is.
camera.
It just says that you win every week. You need to lose. All right.
What is happening with my camera? Okay, I'm just gonna be blurry for a second, and that's perfectly fine. There it goes. Okay. Anyway, that is the sign that it's time for our boss battle. Each and every week, we throw one topic out there for you, the fans, to vote on. This week's a fun topic. It's completely irrelevant to anything else we've talked about. Other than this, they have compared fan-controlled hoops court to that of the new Space Jam movie. They said it's very similar. It's like Space Jam in real life. And then it got me thinking, okay, what if Space Jam made a football movie? And that's where like the dominoes started going. So today's topic, our battle is this. If they were to make a football version of Space Jam, I want to know who are the Monstars targeting to steal powers from? Are they going to, like, who's the quarterback they're stealing power from? Who's the wide receiver they're stealing power from? And who's the running back they're stealing power from? And then, lastly, who is the quarterback and or player that's going to come in and join the Looney Tunes and save the day? That's the topic. I thought it would be fun. It's so random.
I mean, I got one. I thought about it.
Stathead, you go first then.
I'm going with a theme here. All right, this is like if I'm telling the story.
Theme.
No. So
Tom Brady's gonna come and save the world.
I'm following the arc of like the original Space Jam. So like in the original Space Jam, who'd they target? They target like Michael Jordan, the GOAT. So yeah, our Michael Jordan's gonna be Tom Brady. Duh. He retired for a little bit. He's coming back to football.
He's still playing though.
Yeah, well, remember he was retired for like a couple months.
It doesn't matter.
It's true. He was retired.
He was retired. So, like in that couple months, he's playing golf or whatever. Then he comes back. The Monstars invade. Who are they going to take? They're going to take Matthew Stafford. They're going to take OBJ, and they're going to take Saquon Barkley. Here's why: because if we're doing this movie right now, we're going to take the last Super Bowl champions. Of course, we are. Matthew Stafford. Great story. He's a pretty above mid quarterback. Then you get OBJ, done a lot of great stuff. He was part of that team. But then the connection, Saquon and OBJ were on the Giants team together. So that's like his friend who's also just at that practice for some reason. My other option besides OBJ was Michael Thomas and Ezekiel Elliott. I don't know why.
I love this topic. This is
like,
so great.
I just feel like, because like you look at Michael Jordan. And like you look at the people that were taken, which was like Scotty, Charles Barkley, and then that third guy, I think Tim Robinson. I don't remember the third guy, but like I think they need to be like, they can't be on Michael's level, so they can't all be amazing, but they have to be like in that they can compete with him. And we saw that Matthew can compete with Tom Brady.
Chat, if you want to chime in, let us know your answers. If they make an NFL version of Space Jam, who is getting their powers stolen? AJ, you go ahead. You go next.
All right, so this is where Stathead's wrong. Okay, first of all, Tom Brady is not the GOAT. All right, as much as people want him to be the GOAT, he's not. All right, he's still playing. You got to go with somebody who's retired. All right. I still haven't made my decision yet because the first person that jumped into my head was someone that I don't think would be good, but would be amazing to see. The people that it'll take, all right. Space Jam, they didn't go after just the people who did well, in the last championship. They went after everybody, all right? Everybody. So as far as quarterback, they would go after the best quote unquote quarterback out there. So you can go Josh Allen, or I think they'd go Patrick Mahomes. Everybody loves Mahomes. He's the number one guy. Now you got to think they got to go after some wide receivers. Who are the best quote unquote best wide receivers in the league right now? Well, arguably Cooper Kupp. I mean, you can also go Tyreek Hill. So probably those two guys. And then you got a good running back. You have to have the best running back in the league. There's only one best running back in the league. That's Derrick Henry.
Oh, okay. That's a good choice for sure.
So you guys are going to say Christian McCaffrey? No. Get McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey could totally
Derrick Henry is the king. The man will destroy him.
I love Jason's answer is that the guy who should come back save the day is Aaron Fitzpatrick. I love that. I'm gonna
say it, even though people are gonna be mad at me. Michael Vick. I think he should come back. I have a pit bull. I love my pit bull. The man messed up, but he did his time. Give the man an opportunity. But
Jake from State Farm would make a great cameo in it.
Jake from State Farm would be a great one.
Jake from State Farm would play the Bill Murray role where he just comes in and plays basket. He just makes snaps the ball to the quarterback and it's just him, or he catches a touchdown.
All right,
something cute like that.
Here's mine, boys. You ready?
Yep.
I think it's Tom Brady, and I think this actually happened. And the reason why I think Tom Brady is so Tom Brady actually went and saved the world while we didn't know this was happening during the offseason. And then when he came back, he started talking to Giselle about this happening, and she thought he was senile. And then he's like, I have to go back and play in the NFL. So he signs back up out of retirement, goes to play in the NFL, and she goes, I can't be married to this man. He is imagining playing football with these Looney Tunes characters. That's just not real. So I'm just gonna have to separate ways.
And
so that actually
crazy.
Happened. He's crazy. I think it actually happened. So I think Tom Brady. I think it's either Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. I think it's Christian McCaffrey. And for wide receiver, I think I agree with you. It's got to be Kupp, right? I mean, hands down. That's it. But yeah, Tom Brady, the crazy retired guy. Totally.
Crazy retired man.
If it was Warner Brothers, though, they would just have LeBron James play quarterback and they would write some spin-off thing that, he actually plays quarterback now.
I would rather watch that than Tom Brady, if I'm being honest. Let's be real.
I mean, yeah, but
I don't know.
You gotta admit it, Stathead. My theory about the Falcons Patriots Super Bowl being a conspiracy, it's got some weight to it. You know it does.
Oh, I mean, listen, if you want to go deeper, if the Patriots went 18-0 or 19-0, Tom Brady would have been retired by 2016. That's my rabbit hole.
Yep.
BC Lion says he voted for me. Thank you so much. I appreciate your vote. It wasn't enough. AJ takes the dub on today's leaderboard.
That's not true. You won the first one.
You won week one.
Oh, did I? Oh, yeah. Well, that was okay. I don't count that one because that was the spam off.
Because you're just
yeah, just spam off. It doesn't count.
Anyway, that's a fun topic, and I would love to know. Engage us on Twitter, guys. If you have your perfect NFL Space Jam, I want to hear it. Tweet at M4ArcadeFCF, AJ Kaw, or Stathead. Is it just? What is your Twitter handle now these days? I always forget.
It's always been KS Realm Kyle.
There you go, KS from
That's
Kyle.
what it's always been.
Tweet at us. Let us know your NFL Space Jam. Coming up later this week, tomorrow night, we've got the returning incredible show of Don't Cause Ruckus with Jose and AJ. How's that show going? It looks like it's been popping over there on Wednesday nights.
It's pretty
You guys
fun. We
You guys
argue.
look like you're having fun.
We
Yeah.
argue. It's fun.
Yeah.
We like
Some
to.
of your topics have been super fun to watch. And watching you both go at it like head to head, I'm like, this is why we're here. Like,
Yeah.
I could watch this all day.
I mean, the man thinks that Geno Smith is the truth, and he needs to be told he's wrong from time to time. And I happily take that role every time. I'm not one to shy away from telling people you're wrong.
Hey, and if you want to go take his side or join AJ and help dispute him, go tune in on Wednesday nights and to Don't Cause a Ruckus at 8 p.m. Central Time, and you guys can dive in and talk about all the fun things that are happening over there. And then Thursday, we've got the fan controlled show this week, same time, same place, right here on Twitch. Roper and Neeple. That's the name of the show this week. As you know, it is the fan controlled show. Fans name it every week. So
except for last week.
Yeah, whatever. Go tune into the likes of Makuga, Kanata, Deez, and the Commish. And go talk about all the fun things happening over there. But that is it for the Info Arcade. Congrats to AJ for the win. I've got to find a win. I think so far only you two have won.
Yeah, you got to step your game up.
Yeah. Come on, host.
What's up? I don't know what's going on.
It's called the Info Arcade.
And apparently it needs to be renamed because ain't nobody voting with me. So that's fine. Except BC Loin, I see you, bro. You got my back. That's cool. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Again, you can tune in here each and every Tuesday on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch at FCF Sports. We love to talk sports and entertainment, so tune in each and every week. Make sure you tune into the shows tomorrow and Thursday, but we'll see you back around here next Tuesday evening. And until then, you guys have a great night. Thank you for watching. See ya.